Good morning, friends. It's Nancy. Welcome back to our series, Country Diary for Springtime. So last time we made this envelope. Whoop, don't want to show you that yet. We made this envelope with the little index card. So now we're going to make a little something that goes on the inside. So the pages we need are 58 and 38. And you'll also need a page of, you can use scraps if you want to, but I just grabbed that piece of tea dyed paper. So, starting off with page 38, cut it off right against the edge where it was sewn into the book. Okay, and then save that, and then we're going to cut let's do 4 3/4. Okay. So this has got text on both sides. So what we're going to make is a little booklet, and so next I want to use this part of page 58. So I'm just kind of carefully cutting around in case I want to use that poem later. Oh, I guess it's not really a poem, it's more of a verse, eh? This morning I was putting a load of laundry, or I was taking a load out of the washer and putting it in the dryer, and I tore a great big hunk of flesh right off my thumb, so I'm not sure how much cutting I'm going to be able to do, but let's see what we can do. First part I want to cut out is the bird, so you can cut on that side of the stick. This is trash, okay? So just sort of cut around Mr. Bird. When I'm editing this, I might have to do a speed through. I'm telling you, having a sore thumb slows you down. Okay, and then on this one, leave this stick off. Okay, and okay, so we're going to fussy cut all the way around here. And remember, use sharp scissors. Don't turn the scissors, turn the paper, and just kind of keep even pressure on the handles. So my cold is better. Still coughing a bit, but everything's starting to feel better. It wasn't so much the cold as it was I was in a lot of pain. Everything hurt. I told my son my eyebrows hurt. My knees, my hips. It was awful. Just aching everywhere. My eyebrows still hurt. But I had a headache and fever. I don't think this was an ordinary cold. I think it was a flu bug. I am able to take a complete breath now, which is unusual. I hadn't been able to for a few days. Still tender. At least I feel like I can sit upright for a few minutes. Haven't been out of doors. That's something I might do today. I might put on some pants and go have a little walk outside, get some fresh air. See how that goes. I think it was pretty frosty when I looked outside today. So it might be too cold. We'll see. I'm not fit for human consumption yet, though. I think all of my appointments got covered yesterday. Our executive director texted me about 1 o'clock yesterday, and she said, I saw 3 of your appointments. And I know one of the other lawyers, she said she would take my appointments that had interpreters. Because we didn't want to cancel those. If you don't give 24 hours notice, you still have to pay for the interpreter, right? So I'm cutting off that little hunk of branch there that we talked about earlier. Sorry, I'm not sighing, I just felt a little breathless. Lots of little bunny tracks on the front lawn today. We watched Ford versus Ferrari last night. And of course, hubby, being a child of the 60s, loved it. And gosh, I can't think of the actor's name. She plays Claire on Outlander. So she plays the wife of the character Ken Mills. Her name's Molly in the movie, but I can't think of her real name. Starts with a C. I'll come back and do those little bits after I get some of this off. Sometimes you just gotta cut the paper away because it gets too heavy. It makes it hard to... Yeah, we're getting there. Asked Doug to go out and see if he could find me another copy of this. There's a used bookstore downtown that's very expensive for used books as far as I'm concerned. And I wrote down, I wanted another copy of this Edith Holden book. I just thought it would be neat to have one that I hadn't already ripped apart. So I wrote it down, and I said, if you're downtown, will you go in and ask? So he went in and talked to the fella, and he says, you know what? We don't have it. and we've been getting a lot of requests for it, which is unusual. So I have a sneaking suspicion this whole junk journal thing is starting to expand, at least locally. And I had an Etsy order from someone local. Hi, Natalie. So that got me excited. Oh, my Band-Aid is coming off. See, I clearly wasn't well enough to do laundry. Okay. Enough. And let's finish off Little Bird. Okay, now, so we're making a little booklet. This is about 7 inches, just shy 7 inches. So I'm going to just score that at 3.5. Now, we should ink. We will ink. Okay. So the bird, we're going to put him sort of right there. Oh, come on, I was just using you. There it is. Little gob. What a gross word. Gotta tell ya, daytime TV is pretty boring. Although yesterday on PBS there was 2 episodes of called Midwife, which I love. It was I think they were the 6th season though, so it was older stuff. Okay. It really doesn't matter where you put the bird because the nest is going to go over it, so it'll look like the branch is attached to the nest. Right? So we'll just gently do a little inking here. Don't want to bend any of my sticks or break them off. If you don't like fussy cutting, I guess you could tear the nest out. Frankly, my brain is exploding. I can't imagine anybody who doesn't like fussy cutting. It's so awesome. But I suppose it could be a thing. So I'm using Art Glitter Glue, which is really good for getting all these little sticks down. Move quick though, because it dries. Dries quick. So I kind of want to get the branches as close to the edge at the bottom and at the side. Okay. So now we're going to do some pages for our little book. That was 4 3/4 inches. So I'm going to cut some pages that are 4 1/2 inches wide. You could make them different sizes if you want. And 7 inches. So let's do 6 1/2. Okay. Now, I want the good stitching to be on the outside, so I'm going to sort of center these pages here and put a couple of big paper clips on top. Now I have got this stitch length long, like 3 1/2. And I'm not going to start right at the edge. I'm going to start in about less than 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to stitch right down that scored line. So keep an eye on the scored line. And you're going to be stitching right over the leaves and sticks. So you sort of have to imagine there's a line there. And stopping about less than 1/4 inch. Okay, you can leave the strings if you are a long string liker. I'm going to tie mine. I have no idea what this is. It's long forceps. but it has this little shovel thing on the end. I have no idea what it's for. I picked it up at a thrift store. The thread pulled out of this last hole, so I'm going to use a needle to finish that off. Okay. Okay, left over right and right over left. If you didn't sew this, you could poke holes and sew in like you would sew in a signature. Careful taking off the paper clip so you don't tear your fussy cuts. Okay, let's ink cut the edge. Or if you have like a long stapler, you could have stapled the pages in. Don't like ink, don't ink. However, I think not inking could be a sign of bad character. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Okay, whoop. So fold that in half. And where's my bone folder? Oh, there it is. Carefully. You just want to kind of press that because you don't want your fussy cuts to get torn. Okay. Now, I have this. Let's tear it and see if there's a place to put it. And if there's not, well then, there's not. Let's ink it and see if that improves its likability any. I don't know. Oh, I hope I'm not making a mistake. Okay. I'm going to put it under his tail. Okay. Now, if you wanted to do something fancier, you could have put some, some cheesecloth under it. You could have stitched around the full edge of the cover. But what we've made is a little booklet that has, maybe we'll ink the inside just to say that we did a good job. If you want to use some of your extra fussy cuts that we've been saving, you can add them to the inside, make a little collage inside. Okay, so that is today's project. We made a little notebook, and it goes right in that envelope. So thanks so much for watching this video. We'll talk to you again.